Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Garrigan. Today I've got an amazing collection from our friends at Crafters Companion. These are Gemini, Create-A-Card, and Edgeables. They make the most beautiful cards, and here is one of the Edgeable cards with that gorgeous border, and I'm going to show you how to use these on any size of die cutting machines. So come back and play with us. So this first one is the Rose Garden die. Isn't it beautiful? It's upside down. There we go. And as you can see on the packaging here, it is 6.2 inches by 1.6 inches. So if it's great if you have a larger format, like a 9-inch wide format die cutting machine, but what about those of you who have Big Shots or Gemini Juniors where there's 6 inches of platform to work with? So I'm going to show you how to adapt this. It's very simple. There's a couple of different ways to do it so everyone can use this beautiful die. So first of all, I wanted to show you what I used to make my card. I have got Poppy's 6x6 patterned cardstock, which is just a beautiful size. This is a 6 by 5 inch card, and I used the coordinating cardstock as well. Then I also used here and on the inside, we've got some Poppy's die cuts. There's 31 in here, 2 sheets, and they make the most beautiful kind of a thicker cardstock chipboard border. And then I also used with those these little fuchsia Jewel Dazzle stickers, and these little thin line dazzles right there are from Colorful Thin Line Border Dazzles. All right, so let's get right to this. Now, this is what this looks like, just cut from the 6 by 5.5 inch card. But I want to show you how to adapt this. So I'm going to take this die and I'm going to put it right here. So as if this was a blank card and we hadn't die cut it yet. And then you want to use a little bit of low tack tape. I like this kind from Hunky Dory, if I can find the end. Come on, there we go. All right, and then you're just going to, I like to take a little bit of the tackiness off of it because sometimes it can get a little much. We're just going to align that right there. We're going to tape that down. Actually, I like to tape it here, and I'll tell you why. Because that part's going to get cut away. So even if it does get squished down on your card, it doesn't matter. That part's being cut away. You can also put some up here if you'd like as well. All right, now you're going to open this up, and then you're going to, well, actually, you're going to open this up, and you're going to wrap this back part to the front. All right, and then we're going to take a piece of scrap cardstock and we're going to put it in there to protect that, and then we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. Remember, this is 5 inches wide. We're going to run that through the die cutting machine. Now when you're done, magically appears. So you're going to have this nice border, but the back of your card, the inside of your card, is going to have some distortion on it, all right? So what I did with that was I just took a piece of blank cardstock and glued it in there. On this one, I just took a piece of that beautiful coordinating orange cardstock, but on the back of my card, there is a little bit of an indentation there, okay? But that is certainly a way to be able to use that. And then on the next card, I'm gonna show you a different technique as well. So that's one. And then for this one, this is the Ditzy Daisy, just so adorable. It is also 6.2 by 1.5 inches. So for this one, I used, where's my paper? Here we go. Got too much on my desk. So this one I use, this is new Window View 6x6 patterned cardstock. It's got all these windows on it and a beautiful patterned wood. I didn't use the one with the windows. I used this lovely one right here with the little roses on it. And I used the coordinating cardstock as well for this nice green background. And what else did I use? I used a cutting die. This is a brand new cutting die for us, Bigger Leaves and Ferns #2. And I used this one right here, and I used some of the darker green cardstock from that coordinating cardstock collection. And I also used some paper doilies, a little paper doily, 4-inch wide paper doily. They come in a pack like that. And from 49 and Market, this is Rustic Blooms, and this is a cranberry color. And then some little Jewel Dazzle stickers in a copper color. So, putting this all together here. So for this card, I actually cut, about 1 1/4 inches off the bottom edge of my card, so the folds at the top. And then I used this piece right here. I used this from a just a separate piece of white cardstock. So it's not like I used what I cut away. And then just ran this through the die cutting machine. And because it's just a little border strip here with about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch right there, it doesn't matter if I just ran it through this long way. Then we're going to take this and we're going to place it right here on the edge of the card. Come on. Glue. This is Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue. This is my favorite glue to use. And I'm going to take this. It's got this little dot border on there, and I don't want to cover that up, so I'm going to make sure. Oh, you know what? I forgot to cut my card down too. So you want to have it so that those dots are okay there, and then I'm going to have to take my scissors and cut this card down because I forgot to do it on my paper cutter. That's not going to be a perfect cut, but it'll get us by. All right, so we're making another 6 by 5 inch card. And we're going to place our border on the side there. So I've just glued that right there. Now I'm taking a piece of this patterned cardstock. And let's see, how wide is this? Got my ruler. Here's the one. Here we go. That is about 3 3/4 of an inch wide by 6 inches. And we're going to glue that right there. And we want a little border of white on the left, and we don't want to cover up our dots on the right. And when gluing with liquid glue, I just believe in a couple of dots right there. You don't have to cover the whole thing. Go, just like that. And then we're going to take this little guy, this little 4-inch doily, and just put some dots of glue around that edge, right across there. And I put it right along the edge, about like that. And now we're going to just trim that even, the card edge. Just like that. Right, and then at this point, I went ahead and took my cutting die with this great branch here, and I cut that from a dark green, and I cut one full size, and the other one I just used about this much of it. I put those right there, and then I took my flowers and I just did 1, 2, 3 collection right here, and then just added in some of those leaves that come with this. Another flower right here, and then this little greeting cutout is from the window view, and I foam taped that. Let's see what else. Oh, I tied a little bow of brown jute, and I just tucked that in there. And then along the edge, I use those Jewel Dazzle stickers. And what I really like to use to pick these up is a jewel picker. This is just a wonderful little tool. Maybe we can zoom in on this, Steve, where you're going to take these 2 ends, and they're a little tacky. And so you're just going to take these and you place it on your jewel, and then you're just going to kind of mix it around until it picks up. And by mixing it around, you're really just sort of breaking that seal from the backing sheet. You're just placing them just like that. Very easy to do. So I did those copper, and just a quick and easy card, really. The inside is covered with that nice, pretty green color. Very easy to do. All right, let's move on to this card. This is a different kind of cutting die. Maybe we can zoom out now. This one is... This is a Create a Card Butterfly Garden die set, and it's actually a 3-in-1 die, and it comes like this. So you can use it, put both of these together, and run it through your machine. Now this is 5 by 7, so it fits through your machine just like that, no problem. You can use it just like this. You can remove it, okay? And you can use it this way. So my friend Debbie made this beautiful shaker card. Isn't that gorgeous? I love what she did with this. So for this one, she actually used it in this way, okay? So she die cut this topper. Isn't that beautiful? That is from olive green suede paper. Comes like this by the sheet. And if you've never felt that before, it's beautiful suede that is compressed and attached to a sheet of paper, and it die cuts beautifully. So she die cut that, and then, oops, then she placed that on, this is some Lilac Shimmer Miri cardstock. And it looks like this. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of our favorite colors. She also used a sheet of acetate. All of these are available if you want to look at those down below our video at paperwishes.com. And I should also mention that we have a great money saver on the right-hand side. But yeah, if you want to hunt and peck and pick this or that, everything is right there. Okay, so we're going to assemble this card. The first thing she did is she cut this, and then she used some oval cutting dies to cut a scalloped oval out of the center. So die cut this first, then do your oval cutting die. Then she cut this to a little bit bigger, okay, just like that. And then she cut the oval from the center here. So I like to just, when attaching this to this, I just like to use my Cosmic Shimmer glue, and you could use sticky specks and things like that, which might be quicker, but I find that when you're putting something really large down and very delicate, that sticky specks can be a little messy, a little tricky. They don't move around, and you have to peel the entire thing off if you want to reposition it. Whereas if you're using glue, there's always a little wiggle room there. So, you know what, just a few dots going around and around like this. It doesn't take long, and it's going to stay in place just fine. We're going to do that. Make sure I have it going in the right direction. I'm going to turn this around. Here we go. It is sort of directional once you cut the die from it and everything. You have to make sure you have the die going in the right direction. Yeah, I cut it to fit this particular piece, and sometimes if you turn it the wrong way, it's not going to fit exactly right again. All right, now I have to see, I have to already move this over a little bit, like that. There we go. Now to do the shaker part, all right? I should also mention that this card is about 7 1/8 by 5 1/8, and it does fit in our envelopes that you can purchase individually. It's a tight fit, but it does fit, okay? And also Debbie made her card base out of just white cardstock, right? So that we're making the topper, which you would then glue onto the white cardstock. And Debbie's on vacation this week, so I wasn't able to ask her a lot of questions about her card, so I'm kind of winging it, to be honest with you. I think we can get really close. All right, so then on the back, we're going to take our sheet of acetate, which I cut just enough, big enough to go into that window there. Some dots around there. There we go. All right, now we've got to take some foam tape. We've got to get that dimension there so we have enough to have all of our little sequins move around. So we're taking our giant roll of foam tape, and I like to just take this that's 1/2 inch wide, take a piece off of it, and we're just going to cut it down the center. Okay, I like to use actually larger strips than this, but this will be fine. Like that, and then you've got some pieces to use. So we're going to do 2 layers of foam tape. And the good news is we don't have to cover the entire card with foam tape. We're going to do it like this. Because that's on acetate, I'm glad, because I need to move this over. Here we go. I'm going to trim that. So once we get one layer down, we're going to actually do something kind of tricky and do another layer on top of the first. So I'll get this first one down, and then we'll take a little break so you don't have to watch me peel and do foam tape. So once you get this first layer down, and then you're going to take all these little backs off, then you're going to do another layer of foam tape right on top of that, because even though sequins are very tiny and thin, they do need the ability to move around and shake. You don't want to get them all compressed in there. So on this piece right here has 2 layers. So I'm going to go around and do 2 layers on the rest, and then we'll come right back. So let's take a break. Okay, so we are back. We've got our 2 layers of foam tape, and I also put a couple more just layers of foam tape right there, because once we are all done with this, we're going to want to attach it to the card front. It does need something on the corners so that it's not, I don't know, like all flippy and flabby on the corners. You want something to be able to keep that firm on the corners as well. So before we put our little shaker stuff in here, and this is a mixed sequin pack, and it is called Dusky Pink from Crafter's Companion. We're going to put a little bit of this in there in a minute, but first we have to talk about this sweet little butterfly that's right here on the inside of the card. And what Debbie did was just took the cutaway part of this oval from the Miri cardstock, and then went ahead and die cut that. I think it's this one right there. Die cut just that part from this scrap. And what we're going to do is take our scissors and we're going to cut this out. So it's already die cut here and here, but we do need to cut it. I'm going to cut this part away. Cut apart the unnecessary part. There we go. We're going to go around the head and the antenna with our little scissors to fully cut this little butterfly out. And you'll notice as I'm cutting, I'm keeping the scissors in one position, and I'm turning the Miri cardstock. I'm sort of steering it. I find that that's faster, and it keeps you from getting those kind of ka-chunk, sharp pieces when you're cutting things out. Okay, now we're just going down to the wing part, and we're getting rid of all of this. Okay, and then we're get rid of that, and we're going to just cut around the tail portion. All right, and now we've got a piece of patterned cardstock that is from Ethereal Bouquet, and it's this nice pink one right here. And we're going to place that right there at an angle so that when it's in the window, it looks very pretty. So let's go ahead and attach that. And here's a tip. You want to make sure that this is dry before you put all your shaker material in. I'm not terribly sure this will be dry when we do. So yes, do as I say, not as I do. Definitely make sure it's dry when you put all your shaker material in. Otherwise the shaker stuff will stick to all your glue. Now I want to make sure, yep, that's going to look nice in the window. Okay, get that stuck down really well. And now we're going to go ahead and put our shaker material in here. I used this last week on some shaker cards, and I just poured it in, and then it kind of stuck around my little dam of foam tape. So this is what I'm going to recommend. Pour it out like this, and then take a little pinches of it, and then just stick it in like this. It's a lot neater. All right. And I have a feeling that Debbie used more than I am, so I'm going to just do that. See, I got carried away and dumped it again, and it got stuck on the corners, on the edges, rather. Oh, right. All right, moving on. So now we're going to take this little piece right here, and Debbie loves making her shaker cards kind of like a sandwich. So there's a top and then a middle, and then you have this piece, which is the back. It keeps it all together, and then you put it onto your card, which I love that idea. It's just so smart. And of course, when I put my foam tape on in the corners, you guys, I didn't account for this covering it up. So you might want to put another foam tape on the corners there. Guys, there. Let's hope it's not sticking to my butterfly like I told you it might. There we go. Look at that. And so now you're just going to glue this on the front of a 5x7 card. And yeah, looks beautiful. And so here, she also added just a little plaque with Celebrate, which is from our purple collection of Dazzles stickers. Somebody wanted to have some purple. We have very little purple, and so Paulette accommodated. We have a whole collection of purple Dazzles. So you guys, we've got a really fun collection here. A great money-saving deal, so definitely check that out over there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, just look below the description box, and that will take you to our Paper Wishes webisode page. And you'll see everything I just showed you, full color pictures of the projects, and you can buy things individually as well. And hey, subscribe, because we do 3 to 5 videos a week, and I don't want you to miss anything. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.